Welcome to the Yukon in North 61. Today I'm going to talk about the gear of the year for our trips. I spent a lot of time attempting to be a sheep hunter. It was a tough year. I learned I got to redouble my fitness goals just to get far enough to have a better chance. But I pretty much dialed in my gear, so I'm happy about that. So let's talk a little bit about the gear of the year for sheep hunting.
Okay, there's a family of sheep there.
Believe it or not, we're almost at the top of something.
Okay, I have so much to say that this is going to be a 5-part series, and the first part's going to be about shelters. So I've not been a fan of the floorless shelters. I've never used them. I've never figured out what they're for. And then this year, I kind of on a whim bought this Silex. And this Silex is by the great Seek Outside. I really enjoy Seek Outside products. I got one of their packs. I got a bunch of their other gear, and I thought I'd give this a go. And it's been just fantastic. It's a 7x7, sets up like a diamond. And on the diagonal, it's closer to 10 feet, which is where you sleep. So I'm 6'3", or I used to be before I started shrinking. And I can sleep no problem in there, lots of clearance. And in fact, it's a 1.5 man shelter, and my wife is 5'5". She can sleep right beside me. So it actually works out as a 2-man shelter. And this is 27 ounces with stakes and the stove jack. And then I've got this old titanium goat stove, which I haven't used as much as I'd like. And there it is with chimney. It's 8 feet of chimney, which is more than I need, but it gives you lots of draft. And together that's another 25 ounces or so. So that's about 50 ounces. And I've got wood heat. I also bring my Bora bivy so that I'm not sleeping with right on the ground, a pad. And, the other money piece when I'm talking about shelters, I guess I can talk about sleeping system, is this hike and shore. So this hike and shore is a pillow. And as a side sleeper, I need a big heavy pad. And I need a good heavy pillow. And this pillow has enough volume and enough grip that I finally sleep well. This is 3 ounces that has just made a world of difference. And in the subalpine trips, which I use the Silex in, because you can use it up in the alpine, but you're going to you got to have it pitched a little bit high so you get airflow. Otherwise you get too much condensation in it. So, you can use it up high, but you might, if it snows, you're going to get spin drift coming through and stuff. So it's better off where you can put it somewhere where it's a little bit sheltered. Although with a bivy, you'd be all right. And I also bring, of course, this little Survivor, and it's about 8 ounces too. It's a Canadian-made thing that is a really makes a nice little bow saw, so that you can get lots of wood. So it's just been so much fun to have wood heat that I think it's a game changer, really, for the right kind of trip, but not every trip.
Okay, this is really impressive. What's the name of this shelter again?
This is Silex.
Silex.
So I might sleep in here.
No, I mean...
You can go in the coffin.
Yeah. Look at this. It's like being in a wood cabin.
Most trips, you're going to spend most of your time up in the alpine. So you could use that Silex up in the alpine, but it's a little bit cold because you got to have it up high so that you got wind coming through. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of condensation. So you're better off using a regular tent when you're solely up in the alpine. And if you're going to get a lot of snow, you don't want snow drifting over you. And you can't burn wood up there, so you're better off having a regular tent. And I was stuck between having tents that were too light, and they bent like crazy in the wind. Plus, they were all mesh, so if it snowed, you get a spin drift in the tent. And if you're using a down bag, I've saved weight by using a down bag. I usually bring a really ultralight bivy, so it's not that big a deal, but it's still a little bit dangerous. You're better off having a 4-season tent. Even in August, I've been up there and you start getting snow or bitter cold. You never know what you're going to come up with. But you also need good ventilation. So I've either had too light of tents, or I went to Hilleberg, and the Hilleberg Janu is a fantastic tent. I mean, it's fully force seasonable, but it's too much of a good thing because it's 7 pounds. And I thought about just using it as a tent shell, but it's still 5 pounds. So this is what I got instead.
I put a lot of hopes in this Janu. And this Janu at 7 pounds, about 4 to 6 ounces with all the stakes. Really good tent, bomb proof. But it's too heavy. But my other tents are just too wimpy. So Sling Fin has worked with Stone Glacier to make the Skyscraper 2. So if you just take a look, it's about 30% smaller and about 30% lighter. It's so light that you really should go with Floor Saver. But the great thing about this Floor Saver is it weighs 7 ounces in the bag, and it's about 8 foot by 4 foot, just about. Just a little bigger than 4 foot, a little bit smaller than 8 foot. And so it makes a great tarp. I always bring a glassing tarp. That'll double duty as a glassing tarp. A really nice size for that. And at 7 ounces, that's worth taking. So that saves me the ounces of taking the tarp, so it's basically free. 10 millimeter DAC Featherlight poles. Yeah, it's a truss system. The pole runs in, giving it strength all the way and supporting it all the way. And then you just tighten up these little guys here. Both sides, where you can actually use the trekking poles to hold up that one side to give it more sturdiness. Okay, that's with the vestibules. You notice it's got a nice little left L hook that allows you to have ventilation while still protecting you from rain, snow, sleet. It's got a special ventilation piece here that goes right through to the inside of the tent with a matching vent, or you can tie that right up to protect it. And each person has a door and a vestibule to call their own. It's shaped very well to spill the wind. 5 pounds. Incredible, really. Incredible piece of gear. I also have a load of pockets inside, which my wife loves pockets. So there's 1, 2 small pockets, big pocket there, big pocket down there, 2 to the side. There's also lots of room, and you notice those almost vertical walls gives you a lot of space in there. So it's 50 inch wide floor by 92 inches long, and the ends are fairly straight too. So that's why I got this over the QU. It's just a little longer. And then you've got that vent, and you also have those upper doors have mesh, so you get mesh, you get ventilation going right through, and you get ventilation going there. So lots of venting. It'll stay dry in the summer, fairly cool, and you can warm it right up in the wintertime. I can't imagine a better bunch of designs. These side doors, with each person having their own entry and exit and their own place for gear. Every place that you have an external guideline, and there's 1, 2, 8, 9, 10 of them. See that little hook and loop? Hope you can see that. Goes around the pole, right by that, so that you're actually wrapped. That's actually wrapped right around the pole, and it's triple stitched there. Extra sliders and little slider pockets on both doors, because those sliders go first and they're right in the pockets. You can just change them out. What are you gonna do? We're ready. Fitness is good. I could be stronger. That's what I'm gonna work on. but cardio's good. I talked about a bunch of poppycock in one of my videos about binoculars, and binoculars are critical.